What's up, my peeps? Mrs. Zane Wu here, and welcome to ZW Nation. Now, I know it's been a little minute since I made a video, but I'm back, and I'm here to talk about what what is a video that I should have made a long time ago, and that is, should certain kid shows have grown up with you? Now, about a year ago, I made a video. No, not made a video. I watched the Digimon last something movie. I can't think of the name of it, but essentially it was the Digimon last movie, the movie right after the Tri movies. And in that movie, I saw something I never thought that I'd see, and that is Tai or Taichi and Matt have sorry, they had a beer. They were at a place discussing life and they drunk beer. And it really made me feel something because when you are a child and you've grown up with a series like Digimon or Pokemon or Yu Gi Oh! Or etc., you look at something like that like, wow, it really grew up with me. You have these characters in college, they're trying to figure out what's next for them, and they are discussing the future. And because you see something like that in a franchise that you possibly grew up with when you were younger, it really makes you wonder what would happen if there were more shows like this, of these characters that you grow up with that were children and they are adults now and they are tackling adult subjects. Now, about a week or two ago, I wound up seeing a video by the YouTube channel known as the Roundtable, and someone discussed Steven Universe coming back and how interesting it would be for Steven to being an adult. And it really pushed me to make this video because I personally would love to see someone like Steven being an adult. Steven has gone through so much hardship as a child, as a teenager, and to have him come back into as an adult, seeing the further relationship between him and Connie would be very, very interesting. Even like an older Greg, you know, asking Steven, what do you plan on doing for the future? This, that, and the other. Do you want to take over the car wash? Anything could freaking happen. And it really makes me wonder what if certain other kid shows got to grow up with us, you know? Things like Yu-Gi-Oh! What would happen to see Yugi, this high school student who got lucky of defeating Kaiba and defeating Pegasus and like all this stuff? What if he was older? What if he was in his 20s? What if he was 30? You know, what if we got to see a story between like him being older and like Taya, like forming like a stronger relationship and stuff. It gets me because there are certain kid shows that had the opportunity to grow with us, and due to whatever happened, it just didn't quite become what we wanted it to be. Things like Ben 10, he's 10 years old, he gets the arm matrix, he can turn to aliens, etc. Ben 10 Alien Force was the next step. You aged him up a bit. He was 15. He was starting to get a little maturity out of him and stuff. And then, right as things started happening, you say screw it. The ratings weren't quite what they wanted, so they decided to age Ben's personality down, without actually aging the character down, and all of that development was gone. And it's so sad because I'm truly feeling that after Ben 10, Alien Force, and Ultimate Alien and stuff, we could have kind of possibly gotten a type of Ben 10,000 show showing this older Ben. He's an adult, he has children, etc. And he's still dealing with the alien threat. And it's just, damn, we could have had it, but it didn't quite happen. Um, Shows like As Told by Ginger was rumored to have a kind of continuation, a high school version, because I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure they were in middle school. They may have been in elementary, but I'm pretty sure they were in middle school. And then shows like Ned, the Classified School Survival Guide, was a middle school centric show, and it would have been interesting to see them come back for high school and then college. And the thing is, there have been shows, live action anyway, that have given us that they start off as kids and then you see them being older, such as what's called Saved by the Bell, who start off as a show about middle schoolers and then high schoolers, and then eventually we go to college, and then it ends with Zach and Zach and I cannot remember her name. I'm gonna remember it later. But they get married and stuff, and it's all good and stuff. And then we have shows such as crap, I can't even remember the name of the show. There was another show besides Saved by the Bell where they started off as kids and then ended off as adults and stuff. I know that they were similar to As Told by Gender. There was talk about um oh my god, man, what was it called? Uh, uh um, Sorry. This does not normally happen. I do not take notes. I literally go off memory when it comes to my videos. But the name of the show is The Sweet Life. The Sweet Life Zach and Cody, and then The Sweet Life on Deck. There was talk of what would happen if they had a Sweet Life college show, and I would have been interested to see that, especially because Dylan and Cole, mainly Dylan, not too much. I mean, mainly Cole, not too much of Dylan. Sprouse have continued to appear in shows. Dylan is most prominent on Riverdale. He plays Jughead, and he's been in a few movies and shows and stuff, and it's pretty cool. But just the fact that they um, are still actors makes me really wonder how a Sweet Life college show would have been. And it really just kills me because there's so many shows that end with your protagonist still being young, and if they could grow with us the same way that Digimon did, it would just be so interesting. And I know that like after the last movie, Digimon, I think in 2020 wound up rebooting and stuff. They rebooted the first season, so like Try and the Digimon last movie, like they kind of Last Evolution. I think that's the name of the movie. So I'm just gonna say Last Evolution. Digimon Last Evolution and Digimon Try did show us an older version of the characters that we have already seen older versions of in Digimon Season 2, aka Adventure 2. Um, but it does kind of get me that other shows don't do this, like we don't see an older version of Yugi and them. Ash Ketchum will never fucking age. Um, we kind of see it in Power Rangers, but with Power Rangers, I mean, I know within the 30th anniversary, there have been a lot of talk of like a reunion thing, but for the most part, we did not get to see with Billy, Trini, Zach, Kimberly. We did not get to see what they got, what they did later on. We got to see Tommy. Tommy became a paleontologist, and then he came back during a legendary war, and then he came back again, and then in Power Rangers, what was that, Beast Morph? We got to see Jason come back, and that was pretty cool. But we haven't gotten to see what these characters were up to, and hopefully, David Yost's project. I cannot remember. I think it's called Power Rangers Quantum Continuum. Hopefully we get to see what these Rangers have been doing with that. But it's just another example of kid shows that really should have come back and been for an older audience, because I know that people think that you have to stop watching certain properties when you get to a certain extent. But the thing is, we're not all watching reality TV. We're not all watching the Hallmark Channel. We're not all watching this stuff that they claim that adults have to watch. That's BS, because shows like Naruto have continued with their stories and their kids and stuff, with things like Boruto, Dragon Ball Z back in the day. We saw Gohan grow up, and Goten and Trunks, they're getting older and stuff. So we've seen Dragon Ball transition to that next generation. We've seen things like Naruto with Boruto. We've seen things like Inuyasha with Yashahime. It's no excuse for these characters to not continue the stories and start this next generation thing. I mean, when we were younger, I'm pretty sure that most people have seen The Lion King, and in the second movie, it wasn't about Simba anymore. It was about his daughter making her life and making choices and etc. And that's how TV is supposed to be. We're always supposed to see that next generation, but for whatever reason, they keep certain kid shows the way that kid shows are meant to be. Ash Ketchum has existed for nearly 30 years, and he's still 10 years old. I really feel that at the most they just need to replace Ash as a character. Stop this 10 years old mess. Power Rangers, every now and then certain people will come back, but we've never seen like a full reunion. And I get that Twee Train, RIP, she did die back in 2001, but apparently David Yost has a way within Quantum Continuum to show her again. So I just I made this video because I do want to see certain kid shows grow with this audience, because it was such a shock to see Ty and Matt drink beer and talk about what's next in life in Digimon Last Evolution, and it just it makes me wish that more shows would do that. Instead, we constantly have remakes and stuff, and it just feels like they're doing this for the next generation, not for us. So I don't mean to take up too much time. I know I've been going for a while. I do have a video planned after this one, but I've been Mrs. Name Wu from the ZW Nation. Peace.